Ladies and gentlemen, Terrance Turner.
Hello all. So I have to make sure that speaking to the mic, my wife is not here, but I know she would say speaking to the mic and make sure you are clear. So I'm trying to remember that. So thank you all for coming out. I am thankful for this opportunity to speak to you all, and clearly there is an appetite for more and more football. Am I right? And a lot of that begins clearly at the youth level. And just going over my background a little bit, I'm always one, I don't really like to talk about myself. I think it comes off maybe a little narcissistic, but just to give you guys a background, as you mentioned, I did play for the Philadelphia Eagles coming out of college. I'm a former Big Ten college football player. I'm originally from the Midwest, so I've been here for about 3 to 4 years. You guys have welcomed me with open arms, and I know being from the Midwest, coming here, we get all 4 seasons, and I know fall season is an important time of year. Am I right? Oh, yeah! So I say that to say this. We have to keep football alive. We have to keep the option for young men and women to play a sport that is the American sport. Right? It's a sport where there's a level of physicality. There's a level of understanding the game to really be a player that is going to be safe and play it the right way. And that's a lot of what myself and our staff, what we do. We teach players the correct way of how to play the game that they love. How to play it the correct way, how to stay safe. And a lot of that is learned at an early age. And I cannot tell you how many families, how many athletes that we have that are under the age of 9th and 8th grade. Right? They're young athletes that, again, have an appetite for the game. And the more they can learn, the earlier, the better. Okay, going back to my background, I started playing football, and some would consider maybe a little bit late, especially at that time, in the 6th grade. So right at the beginning of middle school is when I started tackling football, and let me tell you, it was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call in the sense that I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn about the game. I had a lot to learn about how to play the game, where I would fit into the team dynamic, what would be the right position for me. And all these things, again, I'm learning this at 11, 12 years old. And I just think, if I had to learn that at 14, 15, clearly my progression, my development would have been delayed. And I don't think I would be here speaking to you guys. So I'm obviously a huge proponent of the tackle game, the game of football in general. Yes, things change. That's what happens, right? The game will have to change. We'll have to evolve. I remember my time with the Eagles. This is 2011. That's when practice habits began. They began to change a little bit. We didn't have two-a-days with the Eagles. They had a new, I guess they restructured negotiations, and they said, look, no more two-a-days. And these are for professional guys. Right? But you start to change, you start to figure out what's the best way to go about things, what are the best practice habits. And now the game at the NFL is much safer than what it ever has been. And obviously that trickles down. So I know for me and for the student athletes that we coach, that we teach, and all the other families that love the game of football, I cannot imagine delaying these players in their development. Because I think that now that reverses all the good that we've done. There's been a lot of progress that has happened over the last 5-10 years. And I think we completely scrap that if we delay the development of these players. If they're waiting until 8th, 9th, 10th grade to begin, that's a long time. That's a lot of time that they cannot make up in terms of learning the game the right way. Correct? You guys understand that? So, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm always one, I like to keep it quick. He's laughing at me, he knows. But I will say this. We have to support one another. We have to do things like this. We have to get the word out. We have to kind of change the narrative. We have to change the mindset because football is under attack. Football is under attack. And without people like us, groups like us, Backing it, understanding the importance of youth football, mainly youth tackle football, then it's going to die out. And look at all these nice, beautiful faces. They clearly love the game. Think about taking off these jerseys from these people, from these kids, right? Think about them playing Fortnite for 4 hours a day. Oh, everyone says no, right? We'll cut it down to just 1 hour. Play football for a couple hours. Work out a little bit. And not to mention the risk, the health risk, which I know were mentioned earlier, in terms of childhood obesity, right? Kids not really getting up and getting out, right? There are a lot of things that keep kids stagnant. Computers, cell phones, social media, all that stuff. And I'm a big proponent of it. I love it, but at the same time, clearly you parents know you need balance. These kids need balance. And sports plays that role for us. Sports allows the kids to have balance, to have a sense of purpose a lot of times, builds teamwork, builds camaraderie. I'd say this, when I was in college, I had the best time of my life, but nothing compared to my youth days, nothing compared to my high school days, nothing compared to my early years of football, because I learned so much about myself. And I had two great parents, but I learned a lot more about myself almost with sports than what my parents could ever teach me about me. I learned, again, teamwork, camaraderie, but I learned hard work. I learned patience. I learned that things don't just happen with the snap of the finger. You have to work at it. So again, we want to make sure that we stress we must keep football alive, we must keep tackle football alive, we must keep these pretty faces smiling because they love the game, we love the game, and let's make sure we do that and we continue to build off what we did today. So I thank you guys.
Thank you, Terrance.